This is Good Taste Brekky with Chloe, Maxwell and Elerrina this morning. One thing we love to do is chat to musicians. Local musicians are even better. And local musicians that have turned into absolute superstars are even more exciting. This morning we're joined by someone that's won 6 ARIA Music Awards. The list of people that she's worked with goes on and on, including Ed Sheeran, for instance. Her name is Amy Shark. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
Great to have you on the show, Amy. Now, you have gone from... Gosh, you were working at the Titans, I was just reading at one stage, and my husband actually played for the Titans. I'm not sure if he was there when you were there, Matt Rogers.
Oh, yeah, I know Matt. Yeah, for sure.
Well, there you go, because both you and your husband were working there for a short time. I didn't know that.
It's funny because, like, when you were, like, modelling and everything, my friends' parents used to always say, you look so much like Chloe. And, like, it was weird. Yeah.
Oh,
Cute.
thank you. I'm going to go out and impersonate you now then.
Start singing all her songs.
Yeah, I can't sing like you, though, unfortunately.
I'm not that good, so you could give it a good go.
Oh, stop it. You've worked with some huge names. What was it like working with Ed Sheeran?
It was amazing. It's something that you never expect to happen ever in your life. So, it was a big day for me, and I was kind of jet lagged and really nervous. So it was just, a case of deep breaths and hoping that the creative gods were on my side that day. And I was just, once I got over my shock of just seeing this little ginger man in front of me, I, sort of got into it, and he, we kind of acted just like we were just best friends within the first 10 minutes. So, got some exciting stuff. I can't really say too much just yet, but it's very exciting.
Well, we look forward to hearing what this exciting stuff is. What is probably your biggest highlight of your career so far? Would it be that you're getting to do stuff with Ed Sheeran, or what's been the greatest thing?
There's so many highlights, but I think the main thing I wanted to concentrate on is just putting out a second great body of work, and I'm trying my best not to be tempted by the quick path, and I really just want to put out great music, and it's hard because there's so many different sort of roads you can go down in this life now, and there's kind of no rules in music, so it's really hard to navigate through it all and just be, I just want to have a really sort of great build a great name in the industry, and just have a catalog just full of really great songs. So I'm lucky to have a lot of people that are very professional, and people like Ed and other producers like Joel Little that I've got to work with sort of on my side. But I think the main sort of thing that I want to have it's just really great music, and that's all I really focus on.
Yeah, well, you've definitely taken quite a respectful path, which is so admirable. And something that you did say with your song release, Everybody Rise, that it was about how we create idols on social media while losing track of the humanity that's right in front of us. Are you able to go into a bit more about that?
Yeah, apart from just being someone who has experienced, being on the bad side of unrequited love, which I think everyone has experienced at some stage in their life, but I must have really affected me, because it always kind of bleeds through a lot of my songs, really. So, but this one was different. This was I guess looking at it from being that person who has been, super heartbroken and trying to get through life without this person that I wanted in it, and then becoming someone that, I get a lot of weird messages online about people just super interested in my life and who I am, and it's still so bizarre for me, because I wasn't like, that girl at school. I was kind of, I was a bit of the weird one playing guitar and listening to weird music, and I wasn't, the popular girl, so it's weird that people want to know so much about me, and I see that happen with so many artists and bands, and just this worship culture that happens. And yeah, I guess some ideas just came to me at the right time when I was writing this song, and it all kind of fit together.
Can you tell us more about your forthcoming album? Because not only have you worked with Ed Sheeran on this, but there's Diplo, Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins, and the Chainsmokers. It sounds pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I hate to let you down, but there is a lot of speculation, and I think, you know, people get confused as to, like, when you go and work with these people. Like, I needed to meet Billy Corgan because Smashing Pumpkins was one of my favorite bands, and, you know, I wrote Adore because one of my favorite Smashing Pumpkins songs is called Ava Adore, and one of my favorite albums is called Adore from them. So it was like more of a go and sit with him and learn from him, and he gave me some great advice, and he still kind of actually helped on one song in particular, but that the list that you just read out is not always going to end up on the album.
Right.
It's like it can be
Consultants.
there might be side projects. I might be, you know, it's trust me, I have some great people on this album that I'm excited about. I think everyone sees, you know, if you get a photo with someone, you must be working with them,
Right.
and it might be the case, but it might not always make the album. So, and it might be for the third, or it might be for that person's album, or you know, I write for so many other people as well. So it's a very entwined industry.
Yes, I can understand that. Indeed. I get photos with athletes and people think I'm an athlete all the time. No, it's really hard to deal with.
Now, Amy, you recorded your music video for this song Everybody Rise in Nashville. How was it being over there?
It was awesome. Like, I love Nashville. Played a lot of shows there, and I've built a nice little fan base over there, considering I'm not really country. So
yeah,
I love it, but it was a very different time there because it was literally the very first stages of you know, coronavirus, and everyone was learning how serious it was. But it was at the very beginning of it,
right.
And I was actually advised not to go. And then but everything was in place, and I was so excited about this song. I'd done all the work, you know, and I was so excited to start putting out new music. And I just said to my record label, like, I don't know how you're going to stop me, because I'm going to do this. And so I went and did it, and it wasn't until I got there that I realized, like, oh my God, I need to go home. Like, this is really scary. But we managed to get the video shot. But yeah, everyone was sort of going into lockdown the day that I was leaving.
Wow.
So I got out of there just in the nick of time, but it was pretty risky.
No one was to know, though. Like, in the early stages of it, we were all like, oh no, this will be over soon. Like, we didn't think it was going to be massive. So
for sure, I was the number one person who thought that. I was like, no, I'm not going to let this, like, you know, I'm sure it's just being blown out, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next minute, you're in a hazmat suit down the shops with a face
Yeah,
mask on.
trying to find toilet paper.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, God.
Now, Amy, you actually got to go on television on the Late Late Show with James Corden and the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. What were they like? Tell us about those experiences.
They were a whirlwind because, you know, James Corden was pretty early on. Like, I hadn't been playing shows even for that long. Adore just kind of got this crazy traction, and I was off. And so meeting him, like, he came into the green room and he was so funny, and just, you could tell I was super nervous. You know, I had Kim Kardashian in the room next to me. I had Ludacris on the other side. And then there was just like Amy Shark from the Gold Coast in the middle that no one knew about. And it was just like really, I felt really out of my depth, and, you know, just tried to get in the zone and act as professional as I could. But that was such a good night. And I think by the time I got Fallon, I kind of knew like what I was doing a little bit more. It's still nerve wracking because it's, you know, it's they shoot it live. You don't really get another chance to do it. There's an audience, and it's, you know, it's intimidating, but there's a time where you really think to yourself, do I want to do this, and am I going to want to be taken seriously? And it's like, you just need to show up.
We might actually play your new song. It's called Everybody Rise. Tell us a bit about it before we play it, Amy.
Well, I think it's a bit of a trick, this song, you know, because it sounds quite like worldly and anthemic, when really it's just me being a, brooding, sad artist talking about romance again. That's not really going in my favour. So you can take what you want from this song, but it's at the end of the day, it's just a sad love song.
We're going to play it right now. Thanks so much for joining us this morning,
No
Amy
worries.
Shark.
Thanks, Amy.
Amy,
Thank you, girls.